So we're going to continue working on volumes, volumes of cylinders in particular. So when we talk about any volumes, we want to, and especially of prisms, we want to think of taking slices, and if the areas of the slices are the same, we want to give those slices some thickness, and we're going to give that will give it the volume. So in this case here, so when we talk about the volume of this piece here, we're going to take its area. We're going to take that area here, the circular area, and give it some thickness. So area times thickness is volume. So in general, that's what we want to, how we want to kind of think of volume mathematically. So when we come up with a volume formula for the cylinder, the area that we're going to work with is a square, or sorry, a circle. So pi r squared. So there's our area. And every slice is going to have the same area, so we're going to give it all the same thickness. So we're going to multiply it by height. Okay, so it's the area of the circle times the height. So when we talk about like a coin, for example, a coin really is a cylinder because it has a circular area and it has some thickness. Okay, it's not very thick, but it has some thickness. So a quarter has a diameter of 23.8 millimeters, so across it's 23.8, and its thickness is 1.6 millimeters. So we want to figure out the volume of this quarter. What we want to do is to find the area of that circle. So we can do, let's use a r squared. So our r squared is going to be, so I'm going to write volume is equal to, the r squared is going to be 11.9 millimeters squared, and then we're going to multiply by its thickness, 1.60 millimeters. Okay, so it's going to give millimeters squared times millimeters, which is going to give us our volume. So with all these decimals, we really should use a calculator. So the calculator is going to give us pi times 11.9 squared times 1.6, and it gives us 711.8 millimeter cubes, approximately. Okay, so that's going to give us that many cubes. So think how small a millimeter cube is. They're really, really tiny. 711 of those will fit inside a quarter. Okay, so given the following object, determine the surface area and volume. So the volume really is fairly straightforward. We're going to take, our volume is going to be the area of that circle. So we want to use a radius. So we're going to take the radius squared, 5 feet radius squared, times pi gives us a circle, and then we're going to times it by the height of 21 feet. Okay, so we get 5 times 21. 5 times 21 works out to be, what's that going to be, 1,000, or sorry, 25 times 21. That's going to work out to be 500, I think. 525. So we're going to end up with 525 pi, in this case, cubic feet. Okay, and if we want to work out the decimal value of that, the decimal value is 1,649.3. So this is approximately equal to 1,649.3 cubic feet. Okay, so when we think of volume, volume has 3 dimensions. Okay, it has length, width, and height. And the shape that we're going to use to measure this is cubes. Okay, so whether it be millimeters cubes, cubic feet, like is in this problem, cubic centimeters, cubic meters. Okay, we're going to use cubes to measure volume. Okay, so to determine the volume and surface area of this cylinder, we're going to take the volume. It's going to be volume is equal to pi times 7 squared times the height. Okay, so the volume works out to be we get 588 pi. That's cubic centimeters, which is approximately equal to 1,847 point, around that to 3 cubic centimeters. Okay, to determine the surface area of this, we just need to make sure we get all the surfaces of our net. Okay, this is going to be pi r squared, so we're going to end up with 49 pi here, 49 pi here. That's the circle area that we use for the volume as well. And then we're going to take the circumference, which is 14 pi. Okay, so double the radius times pi gives us the circumference, which ends up being the length here, times the height. So 14 times 12 is going to give us 168 pi. Okay, and then the surface area, we just add that all up. So we get 49, 49, and 168 is 266 pi. This is centimeters squared because we measure area in centimeters. Okay, so 266 pi is approximately, at the decimal value, 835.7. Okay, and I think I forgot to get the surface area for this problem here, so let's work on that. Go back to that one. So there's our two circles. There's 25 pi for circles. The diameter is going to be 10 pi. Okay, and the height of this is 21. So we get 210 pi squares. So our surface area here works out to be 225, and 25 is 50, plus 210 is 260 pi. That's going to be square feet. Okay, that's decimal value. As a decimal value, that's going to work out to be about 816.81 square feet.